So here we see the demonstration of the first principle of managing out-group members, which is to listen to them. As a leader, it's important for us to make sure that we're receptive to ideas that are coming in, even from those group members who may not seem to have a great attitude or might not fit our visual idea, perhaps, of what somebody with great ideas should look like. As a leader, it's imperative that we look past the surface and try to find the potential and identify the methods in which we can draw the greatest potential out of our outgroup members for the benefit both of the group as a whole and for those individual members. So as you can see, I've taken Kevin aside, sort of separate from the group. I'm having a conversation with him. He's telling me, you know, I've been doing video production for years, and I really feel like this is the way we should go. I'm going to invite Kevin out to the bar, and when I do that, I'm already thinking about our other outgroup member, Josh. Now, as I'm talking to Kevin and to Josh, it's a key component of my method of bringing these guys in that I very clearly demonstrate to them a level of empathy. They need to know that I understand how they feel, whether I necessarily agree with them or not. And so what I'm doing is reaching out to them individually, taking them aside, bringing them sort of into a tighter circle, a subgroup, and sort of almost inverting the in-group, out-group situation, and basically creating a situation in which Kevin and Josh feel like they are sort of on a team with me, and it's up to the three of us now, as we later involve Josh, to help the rest of the team understand why this vision is so very important and why it is such a matter of passion for Kevin to take this approach. Additionally, in another means of expressing empathy, in Josh's situation, the guy doesn't say anything. He just sits there, smiles once in a while, but usually looks like he's, you know, glassy-eyed and half asleep or stoned or something. So now all of a sudden I have to express empathy for emotions that I can't identify. But human nature being what it is, I can take a couple of good guesses. So I've already invited Kevin to hit the bar with me one night this week so that we can sit down and talk about this in sort of a less formal setting and come up with a plan to sell the idea to the whole group. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab Josh and I'm going to make some noises towards him so that he can sort of perceive that I actually care about why he's not participating, what his feelings are. I'm going to pull him into our little renegade subgroup. The three of us are going to go down to Waldo's and we're going to talk about it over a few beers. So now I've got Kevin, I've got Josh. We've kind of hooked up outside of the more formal structure and environment of the classroom. We're going to sit down at Waldo's and just kind of talk this over. As Kevin and I are talking and Josh is drinking, it becomes clear to me through my own experience with media production that Kevin has got a lot going on. I mean, this guy really knows what he's doing. He's got equipment, he's got experience, and he has a pretty clear vision of what he wants this production to look like. So not only have I identified his potential unique contribution, but I've also sort of covertly reassured myself that he's not full of crap and just blowing smoke to make himself look good or whatever, you know, because that's always a possibility. Sometimes people do overestimate the value of their potential contributions. There are gentle ways to deal with that, but in this case we don't have to because Kevin knows his stuff. At the same time, while Kevin and I are talking, you know, Josh pipes up out of the clear blue sky as we're talking, you know, technical details and things like that and sort of sales techniques, and Josh comes in with possibly the most unique and useful contribution to the project of any of us, which is the idea of making the project about the project. So now we've got sort of a meta project in which we're actually examining the process of what we are doing while we do it. And it's Josh's opinion, and Kevin and I quickly agree with him, that this is not only a uniquely creative approach to the project, but also establishes a sort of a real-world context in which the viewers of the project can actually take something meaningful that they can immediately identify with away from our presentation. further demonstrated in my interaction with Kevin and Josh outside of the core group are two other important principles. The first is to make your outgroup members feel included. Give them a sense that they're part of the process, that they're appreciated, that their contributions are meaningful and respected. This does amazing things for people's attitude. It's very, very difficult, or can be very difficult, to encourage participation from people when they feel as though they're being rejected by the entire process. So, in addition to the principle of making them feel included, in the same action, I am also creating a special relationship, which is our fifth principle of outgroup management. Now, rather than Kevin feeling like he is alone against the group and Josh feeling like he is alone against the group, now Kevin, Josh, and I are sort of this covert ops team, and we're sort of going to, wrench this thing away from people and try to inject a little passion for the imagination behind Kevin's vision. Our final principle that we are demonstrating is giving outgroup members a voice. Kevin, in the course of our, getting more and more inebriated, sort of let it slip that he's really a little shy and a little insecure, and he's not always comfortable sort of putting himself out, especially when he's just been shot down in flames by the rest of the group. Josh, by the same token, he loosens up quite a bit under the effects of a little alcohol, and we get to talking, and sure enough, the best idea of the whole project, the whole core, really, of the project, comes rolling out of his mouth like it was a second thought. And so what happens, though, is Josh is also very reserved and not comfortable putting himself out, putting himself forth in front of people, saying, oh, I've got this great idea. He lacks self-confidence. So in order to give him a voice and help his contribution to the group, I am agreeing with Kevin and Josh that as the group leader, I will come in, present their ideas using my unique skills as a leader to sell the rest of the group on the idea of doing this video and the nature of the project and the topic of the project. And so now you can see how we've demonstrated that by applying the principles for outgroup assimilation that Dr. Northouse has discussed with us, what could have easily turned into a complete train wreck disaster of a project where we all got zeros and stood in front of a class for 10 minutes staring at our shoes, being embarrassed because we didn't get our job done, with just a couple of simple gestures and a minimum of effort and just a little bit of human compassion, we've managed to bring our outgroup members into the group. We've found incredibly innovative and exciting ideas. We've found unique talents of the outgroup members that can contribute to the overall project. And what started off as being a very contentious and negative atmosphere with major questions as to whether the project would even get done, now we've got a very well-oiled and closely knit team working together, everybody doing their part, recognizing the unique contributions that each member of the group makes. And here you have it. Hopefully, what you consider to be a high-quality video that addresses all of the issues of outgroup management. And maybe if we've done our job well, you'll take something away from this going forward into your own situations in life where you are thrust into leadership positions. And maybe when the time comes that you run up against an outgroup member and your first urge is to say, well, the hell with them, those guys have got bad attitudes, let them go. Maybe some of the things we've discussed with you today will come back to you and you'll think, wait a minute, that guy might be the one who can make this project great instead of just good. Thanks very much for your time and attention and tolerance. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a great morning.